Chapter number 13, Introduction to Graphs. Reading a line graph. Example 1. A courier person cycles from a town to a neighboring suburban area to deliver a parcel to a merchant. His distance from the town at different times is shown by the following graph. As you can see here in this graph, the y-axis represents distance in kilometer and the x-axis represents time. So, according to this graph, here is our question. A part, what is the scale taken for the time axis? So, the scale taken for the time axis is 1, 2, 3 and 4 units equals to 1 hour, as we are starting from 8 am. So, the scale taken for the time axis is 4 units equals to 1 hour. Now let's see part B. How much time did the person take for the travel? So we have to tell for how much long did the person traveled. So the person started at 8 am and has stopped at 11:30 am. So the distance or the time interval from 8 am to 11:30 am is 3.5 hours. So the person 3.5 hours, that is 8 am to 11:30 am for the travel. Now let's see part C. How far is the place of the merchant from the town? So to calculate the distance of the merchant's place from the town, we look for the distance in kilometer graph and the place where the merchant has stopped. The place where a courier person has stopped. So the courier person has stopped at 11:30 on 22 kilometers. So the place the merchant's place from the town is 22 kilometers. So the merchant's place from town is 22 kilometers, as the courier person has reached the destination, and here the distance is 22 kilometers. Now let's see part D. Did the person stop on his way? Explain. So the horizontal part of the graph tells that in the time interval between 10 am to 10:30 am, the courier person did not travel. So yes, and this is indicated by the horizontal line on the graph between the time interval from 10 am to 10:30 am. So at this time from 10 am to 10:30 am, it means the person has stopped for half an hour from 10 am to 10:30 am, and it is being denoted by horizontal line as there is no increment in the distance from 10 am to 10:30. So now let's see part E. During which period did he ride fastest? So he ride it fastest between 8 am to 9 am, as the maximum distance has been covered in this time interval. That is, as you can see from the graph, 10 kilometers has been covered from 8 am to 9 am, and this has been the maximum as compared to other time intervals. So he rides fastest between 8 am and 9 am. As the maximum distance has been covered in this time interval as compared to other time intervals, here in 8 to 9 he has covered 10 kilometers, while from 9 to 10 he has covered from 10 to 16, that is 6 kilometers, and from 10 to 11 he has covered from 16 to approximate 18, and then from 11 to 12 he has covered 4 kilometers, approx 4 kilometers, from 11 to 11:30 that too. So the maximum distance is 8 am to 9 am time interval.